Okay, so I just ran out of battery and space, storage space, and that means I've probably been at this for an hour, so I might have to split this video up into multiple videos. So, just in case, welcome to part 2 of my magazine collection. In part 1, we covered all of these. Alright, now let me get back at it, because I still have at least 11 boxes full to go. So, I have an old issue of Gamepro, and I have no idea what the cover was. It's long since dead, but this is the 16-bit, Bubsy and Fractured Furry Tales on the Jaguar. A 2.5 fun factor for Bubsy? Oh my goodness, I am outraged. I have another potential Gamepro or something else. Yes, another Gamepro. Hot at the Arcades, Super Street Fighter 2. Subterranea on the Genesis. It's actually not a bad game. WWF. I don't even want to think about you, WWF, because of what you are now. So, another issue of Gamepro. This one's a bit precarious, too. Which one is this? It's probably Gamepro or SWAT Pro. Sega Genesis game feature. Sonic and Knuckles. Nice. First expansion pack in cartridge form. Genesis 32X Virtua Racing. Oh no, this is Sega Visions. This isn't Gamepro at all, so this is Sega Visions, which was pretty much an advertisement for Sega back in the day. A magazine that spent its entire time advertising. So this one, not in great shape. Let's see. Genesis 32X, Doom, another issue of Sega Visions. When I got my Sega Genesis, it came with a Sega Visions magazine inside the case, and a little thing to get a subscription. Ooh, Booger Man. So, and it came out every 2 months. That's how I figured out that the Saturn launched, because I saw it in Sega Visions. But, I don't think I saw it in stores before that, but then again, I didn't go to stores much. Okay, so this is Game Players. I can already tell by the layout. Look at these old magazine layouts, too. Like, they used to be interesting. I mean, compare them to, like, the modern ones. Like, you have colorful, and then you have boring white wall of text. Completely, I don't know. I just like the way that the old magazines had their format or whatever. Alright. Game Informer. Wolfenstein. I don't know which one. It's a newer one. Ooh, look, another Gamepro supplement. Dreamcast Survivor's Guide. So this would have been near the end of the Dreamcast's life. Again, Doc Zombie right here. This is his artwork. He pretty much was the guy that gave Gamepro its uniquely Gamepro look. As good as the comic book guys on PSM? No, but uniquely it's pretty much, I forget what his actual real name is. I think I knew it at one time, but I think he works for a game company now. Oh, look at this. Best Buy presents, Best Buy and Gamepro present. So this was a free giveaway at Best Buy. It was like a little miniature version of Gamepro magazine, previewing games. Do they have any reviews in here? I think it's just like a preview magazine, but it was kind of cool. Like, I think I have another one of these in here somewhere. But so you could get a little mini Gamepro magazine at Best Buy. Don't ask me how this ended up here. EB Games. They're basically their catalog that you got for free at the store. So I have an EB Games catalog. Halo 2 map pack. That'll go in miscellaneous. Let's see, Gamepro, NFL Street. Fun, but I still haven't really played them. Gamepro, Resident Evil 5. Whatever. Yep, right here. Best Buy Summer Video Game Buyer's Guide. From the editors of Gamepro. And then it has the cover issue that I showed for an issue I own. Again, this is more like a little catalog, but I want to see if there's any like reviews in here, if it's just kind of a previews, because I don't know, maybe Best Buy would have gotten sued if they had a magazine and gave it away and said, hey, this game sucks, don't buy it. You know, I guess it's a good thing that no other retailers own their own magazine now. Alright, so GamePro. Tony Hawk, World exclusive, June 2007, so it's one of the post-good Tony Hawks. GamePro magazine, Virtua Fighter 4. I love Virtua Fighter 4, still probably my favorite 3D fighting game on the PS2. That and Evolution. Man of the Year, Super Mario! GTA, top 20 GTA missions. What year was that? 2007. So, that would have been GTA 4. Devil May Cry 2. This one's a repeat, I believe. Let's see. Portal Runner. A game that ended up being, well, reviewed very poorly. And, might even be reviewed in that issue. Oh, here we go. Same one. Harry Potter. Again. Whatever. You review Halo and Metal Gear Solid 2 in the same issue and you put Harry Potter on the cover and Batman Vengeance on the back. Expert Gamer Mario Party. The easiest way to destroy your Nintendo 64 controller. Play Mario Party, a game that generally forces you to destroy your Nintendo 64 controller. Luigi's Mansion. Shout out for all the younger brothers who were Player 2 all their life. Luigi. EGM 2. All new N64 games. So this one had Mortal Kombat 4 and Gran Turismo. Had like tips on braking and stuff instead of just, well, at this turn right. At that turn right. I believe this is SWAT Pro. SWAT Pro with Game Genie codes for Contra Hardcore that I used to use all the time. Like Almost Invincible, Infinite Lives, Start with All Weapons, and Infinite Bombs. Yeah, I was a cheater at that game, but that game cheats. Yeah, so this was GamePro's own strategy magazine that would take you through different games, like True Lies on the Super Nintendo, and Myst on the 3DO. And Escape from Quarantine on the 3DO. So, alright. Here's another, what did it see? GamePro maybe? Oh, SWAT Pro. Here's another SWAT Pro. And Beyond Oasis, actually. Right here. Battle Through Beyond Oasis. And I think, see, this was September 95. So they have Sega 32X, Sega CD, and Sega Saturn because of the surprise launch of the Saturn. Like, I wasn't really paying attention at the time. I didn't realize that the Saturn had surprise launch. I don't even remember if I'd seen it in the stores, but this was surprise. Here's the Saturn. So for Virtua Fighter, Fun Factor 5.0, graphics 4.5, you know. The Saturn version of Virtua Fighter wasn't the best. Okay, so again, put Solid Snake on the cover, official Xbox magazine. Let's see. So that does it for that box. Alright, next box. Mortal Kombat 4. This was pretty much my introduction to the fact that Mortal Kombat 4 even existed. I didn't have internet back in the day, and so was GamePro. And then Tomb Raider 2 and Star Wars Masters of Terras Kazai, which in the next issue, Star Wars Masters of Terras Kazai. Scary Larry gave this game a 5.0 fun factor. But this issue is kind of infamous too because it has this weird fold out right here. Game Shark. And with the GamePro guys, and as you can see I've actually taped mine so it didn't fall off, is this part would always fall off. So when people would look at the cover of this issue, they just see this weird lady with shark teeth and guns for the cover of GamePro magazine. So that was kind of infamous. Metal Gear Solid. So here you see, they review Metal Gear Solid, and they put Solid Snake on the cover. There you go, GamePro. Smart business decision. So, Goddess of War, PS3 Explosion. So, what's that game? I own it. I don't even remember, anyways. Another one at the Virtua Fighter 4. Let me see. How did I end up... I have an issue of Wizard magazine. I wasn't really into comic books, didn't really collect a lot of comic book magazines, but I have an issue of Wizard. Oh, here's one. Enter the Matrix. I don't know where I got this. I might have got this one from my friend because it's water damaged. But how many people remember that flop? It's not a great game. Not. Yeah, well, I remember renting it. Here's another one that my sister got me from Walden Books, and it's a British one. So, what is it? It's PlayStation Power. So, strange British magazine, PlayStation Power. And as you can see, since it's a British magazine, here's Game Informer by comparison. And like I said, the British magazines were longer and bigger. And it's got a cover with Sunny D. So, hey. Brits don't need no Sunny D. The one retro issue of Nintendo Power I have, given to me by a friend when I was younger, because I just got Final Fantasy on the NES, and this entire issue is a walkthrough and strategy guide for the original Final Fantasy. So it's quite helpful for beating that game. But there's no other games covered here, it's just Final Fantasy issue. Look at here. Get your own and save big. Look at how huge that the tear out to send in to Nintendo Power in order to get a subscription. Giant. But make sure you don't miss out on DuckTales. And yeah, there's not even any advertisements that I see in this entire magazine. This is just a strategy guide. Ooh, it's starting to fall apart though, as you can see. Dry rot, or not dry rot. Yeah, probably dry rot. Just over time. PSM, The Darkness. How many people remember The Darkness on the PS3 and 360? Oh, here we go. PC Gamer, Ultimate PC Hardware Buyer's Guide. If you want to know how to build the most beast system in 2005's computer gaming climate, right here, PC Gamer, Ultimate PC Hardware Buyer's Guide. So I could go back and buy all this stuff for real cheap and make the best Windows XP gaming computer for 2005 possible. Miscellaneous. I think I bought that when I was trying to upgrade one of my PCs at the time and wanted to know what was actually current technology. Ah, here we go. Here is the first issue of Expert Gamer / EGM, the last issue of EGM 2, first issue where they took over as Expert Gamer. As you can see, Expert Gamer, EGM 2, and they have a little description presenting Expert Gamer. And again, Expert Gamer, EGM 2 went to Expert Gamer, and then to Game Now, and then to nothing. PSM, Turning Point, Fall of Liberty. Yeah. I haven't really played all the way through that game, so I'll give it a fair shot if I ever do. Another one from Walden Books is the Versus Books walkthrough for Zelda Ocarina of Time, or Ocarina of Time, depending on if you're a pronunciation snob. I'm not. So, yeah, I had the strategy guide for years, and I only owned the game on the GameCube. I never really owned the N64 version of the game. I didn't care for it. Gamepro Halo 2009. Just put Master Chief on the cover, you'll sell. Let's see. And for those that aren't Master Chief, hold on. Need to mark out some of the stuff on these. Gamepro Star Wars Episode 1. Let's see. Gamepro G.I. Joe. That's okay. Okay, the official US PlayStation magazine. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Need we say more? And then Shinobi. Alright, that does it for that box. On to the next one. Alright, and on to the next box. This one's a bigger box, so this one will have a lot more in it. So, PSM, Haze. I liked Haze, though. It wasn't that bad, but it definitely wasn't up to Time Splitter's legacy. PSM, again, great cover art. Ridge Racer 4. Again, I love their old cover art. Right before the end, their cover art was dookie. GamePro, Metal Gear Solid 4. PSM, Legend of Dragoon. PSM, Tenchu 2. Again, I love the old artwork. PSM, Dino Crisis. Game Players, Best Brawler Ever. I referenced this one in actually my last video. But that goes in miscellaneous because I don't have very many of them. Tips and Tricks, Mega Man Legends. Again, a strategy magazine. GamePro, Games Go Hollywood, Lights, Controller, Action, Dirty Harry. Ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya? I left an open slot for this one, so we'll start seeing some of these. Next Generation, Maximo. Let's see. I still need to mark off some of the addresses and stuff on these, so I'm putting a couple aside. Next Gen, GameCube Exposed. I love, this is stock art, but just look how Mario is looking at Luigi, because Luigi has his own game at launch and Mario does not. Mario! Oh, Mario! Aha, Tips and Tricks. Riverskus. I love this game, by the way. I think it's pretty obvious. GMR, Soul Calibur 2. Oh, here's another Final Fantasy X edition of EGM, but not the nice one that I have. Got a lot of Xing out to do on some of these. GamePro, Call of Duty, World at War. And GamePro, did they still have at least a slightly interesting format at this time? Like, this was the era that everyone went, like, Next Generation. You'll see Next Generation taking themselves very seriously, and that white, you know, screenshots, but just pretty much just a white, boring, unimaginative background that every single magazine switched over to this format. EGM took it. Every modern magazine has this next-gen format. The format of Next Generation, I should say. Like, it just got boring and uninteresting to even look at. Yeah, see? See? Next Generation. The legacy of Next Generation. Every magazine had to cover it and be just like it. Let's see. Okay. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, or Ocarina of Time. However I want to pronounce it, whatever. It's my video. I used to have someone that would give me crap about it. Oh, look at that. Let's see if it'll show it. Matrix, Path of Neo. This was the cover for one of the issues of GamePro. Look at that. Neo's flying. Look at him. Look at him fly. Shiny. Shiny. Nintendo Power 2003 Buyer's Guide. I think this was also on an Animal Crossing calendar, maybe? No, this is just going through 2003's Buyer's Guide. There was one where they had an Animal Crossing calendar that showed you which events would happen in Animal Crossing. But this is not it. So, let's see. Mario Kart for racing. What? Come on a Nintendo console? I never would have thought to buy that if you had not told me in the Buyer's Guide. Okay, you go over to Nintendo Power. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. totally not like anyone in that game. Voice. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I believe this was the issue that has the demo disc version of the Half-Life Uplink demo. I believe that this is the one. So, it's the demo for that issue that has Medal of Honor on the cover for the Half-Life Uplink demo on the PS2 in North America. War of the Monsters. I still haven't picked that game up, despite the fact that I've wanted it, like, forever. It's one of those ones that, yeah, want, and then it falls back in the back burner. Let's see. Game Informer, X-Men Legends RPG, plus X2. Let's see. Official US PlayStation Magazine, Kingdom Hearts 2. I think by this time they actually got a little smaller. It's like there's a couple millimeters off the edge. Another Siphon Filter Omega Strain. Oh, that's right. Another copy, or another issue of Edge Magazine, a British magazine. Again, in America I paid $8 for it at Barnes & Noble. Official US PlayStation Magazine, Grand Theft Auto 3. Let's see. The 100 essential PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PSP games you must play before you die. I'll poop to that later. Wow, actually I didn't realize I had so many issues of Edge. Here's another issue of Edge Magazine. Sold exclusively at Barnes & Noble in America. So how many issues is it? 3? 3 or 4? 3. I only remember having maybe 2. Alrighty. So, GamePro, Terminator Salvation. Just give up on gaming Terminator. We will never have a good Terminator game. Well, GamePro Magazine, it's a Mario. Oh! Okay, another strategy guide for Metroid Prime. Again, the bundle deal I got when I bought Metroid Prime, it came with the strategy guide, a 1-year subscription to Nintendo Power, and an extra memory card. So that means I got it pretty much around the time it came out. I think at the time my PS2 had broken and all I had was a GameCube left. Oh, look, another issue of Tips and Tricks. Tenchu Wrath of Heaven, Dynasty Warriors 4, Tao Fang. Oh wow, I remember that game. Now all of a sudden, let me see. Expert Gamer, pretty explainable which game they're covering the most right here. I'll just put that over there. I gotta go through this and X out some more addresses. Probably not even mine, but hey. Oh. Here's one. Play Magazine. This is the only issue of Play Magazine I actually own. Someone said it was like a successor for... what magazine? For Game Fan. Or something like that. Or maybe it was a Gamer Magazine. I have one of those coming up. Have one of those coming up. Advent Rising. Remember that game? But yeah, so Shadow of the Colossus. Play Magazine. This was like the one issue of that magazine I ever bought. Yeah, we had so many gaming magazines it was hard to keep up on which one was which. At least back in the day. Now we don't have any except an occasional EGM release like once every, 6 months. Official PlayStation Magazine, Jak and Daxter. Alright, let me go shuffle through this and mark out some more addresses. Oh, hold on. I can show you this one. This is another freebie from Walden Books. It was Electronic Gaming Monthly. And EGM. Let me see. I think it's EGM. Yeah. It is. Taifu. Pretty expensive little game for the PlayStation, Taifu. Like, I always wanted to pick it up and then, like, not expensive, but, like, Not like Suikoden expensive. Suikoden 2, but expensive enough for a game that no one remembers. Rampage World Universal Tour 1.0, 6.0, 4.5. Big Air. Let's see, Bomberman Eliminator. Gex 3, Rampage Universal Tour. About the same. I guess they didn't like Rampage because it was repetitive. It was like a beat 'em up. So let's go on the EGM pile, and then let me go through this box and X off some things before I put them on camera. Alright, now we have GamePro, and this is the Dreamcast launch issue. Having this little, your subscription is almost over thing on it all the years has really actually made that cover, preserve the cover pretty well. It's nice and shiny still. Another War of the Monsters, PlayStation, or official US PlayStation magazine. EGM, SOCOM 2. I miss SOCOM 2 as well. EGM, Top 15 Games of the Millennium. And their sequels for 2004. See, The Getaway 2. Was that The Getaway Black Monday, I believe? Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, EGM. This one, an official Xbox magazine, but its cover kind of fell off. So, Tony Hawk's Project 8. So, official Xbox magazine. Nintendo Power. Final Fantasy Tactics. Advance. Oh yeah. So for $2.99, I got Panzer Dragoon Order, the strategy guide, because rail shooters are so incredibly complex of games that you absolutely need to get a strategy guide in order to figure out that you just shoot everything on screen. But I wanted it because it was cheap and it's kind of a collectible thing. Half-Life 2 on the original Xbox. Pretty good port, by the way. See, GamePro, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 in a really thick issue. Another issue of PSM with the Darkness. Issue of Maximo. PSM. And their Game of the Year. There can be only one. Again, here's their awesome cover art right here. Where else are you going to find a comic book version of The Rock telling you to just bring it? WWF. Why do you suck so bad now? I hate you. You ruin everything. No. PSM. One of their swimsuit. I think this is one of their first swimsuit editions. Might be the first. GamePro 2009 Preview Guide. Batman. And Kratos and Killzone. And, of course, put Master Chief on here. GamePro Gears of War. Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix. They were golden. Golden, I tell you. Gex for GamePro. PSM Grand Theft Auto 4. I mean, Grand Theft Auto was such a big thing, you didn't actually have to put pictures of the game or the characters on the cover. Just put the logo and you were going to sell. PSM Top 50 Games for the PS3, PS2, PSP coming this year. I think I already... GamePro Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Still my favorite 3D Zelda game. Oh... So this is PSM, when they finally switched over to PlayStation, the official mag. It was PTOM, as opposed to the official US PlayStation magazine, because Ziff Davis, I believe, went out of business, took EGM down with them, and so many other magazines that they published. This one wasn't Ziff Davis, but this was Future. So Future published EGM, and they used to be Imagine Entertainment, and they formed the Imagine Games Network, IGN, at the time, even though IGN isn't affiliated with them anymore, but that's where IGN's name came from, the Imagine Games Network. Nintendo Power, Fire Emblem on the Game Boy Advance. There we go. Next Generation, Jak and Daxter. I mean, Next Gen was a decent mag, but its layout was so boring. Medal of Honor Frontline, and then I had a friend give me his magazine collection, so I got a lot of doubles of some of these. Medal of Honor Frontline. So, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories, the official US PlayStation magazine. Not to be confused with XPSM PlayStation, the official magazine. I mean, hopefully I'm not confusing you. Not that, you know. Game Informer, Gears of War, Marcus Phoenix, Master Chief, and Solid Snake. Game Informer, Condemned, Criminal Origins. Wow, Condemned actually got front cover treatment. Nintendo Power, The Wind Waker. And Nintendo just put Mario on the cover, or Link. Star Wars, The Force Unleashed for GamePro. Near the end of their life. Let's see. Well, nearer to the end of their life. So what I got here? EGM, Final Fantasy Everything. EGM, Final Fantasy X. That's right. And then one time just put Final Fantasy on the cover. And then, yeah, money. SSX3, GMR. PS2 Online for EGM. Resident Evil 0, EGM. Okay. Okay. EGM Ultimate Reviews issue. Game Informer. Alpha Protocol. Modern Day Espionage Thriller. Huh. I don't even remember that game. Did it ever come out? SSX3, official US PlayStation magazine. Game Informer, Guitar Hero 4. The official US PlayStation magazine, Tomb Raider, and Virtua Fighter 4. So you can generally tell which magazines were covering what at the same time in gaming, where because they all generally just swapped covers for whatever the hot game was at the time. So PSM, Onimusha 3. Official Xbox magazine, Medal of Honor, Rising Sun, Deus Ex, The Invisible War. I still love this game. I don't care what y'all say about it. Assault 2, Call of Duty 2, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2, Mass Effect. We're going to mail this out, but we're going to do that. Like, the one face you can actually see on the cover, the mailer portion is going to just, we're just going to wipe that part out. GMR, Ninja Gaiden. GamePro. Why can't Heavenly Sword? Duh. Wow. I guess I did get 2 issues of Play. I only thought I ever bought 1. But no. Play. Dragon Quest 8. But there still goes miscellaneous. Alrighty. So, an unauthorized strategy guide for Alundra on the PS1. Believe me, that game is pretty tricky. GMR Astro Boy. And then GMR Ninja Gaiden. So EGM. GameCube takes on PS2 and Xbox. Giving Nintendo a little bit of love. PSM, again, amazing artwork, Silent Hill. Like, it's awesome. GMR. Uh-oh, it's the blowout for Halo 2. The review is in. The review is in. Whatever. Anyway. Halo 2 beat them at their own game. What? Anyway. Halo 2. Just put Master Chief on the cover, it'll sell. EGM. The RPG Revolution. There was at one time when we considered The Legend of Zelda to be an RPG, even though it's pretty much just an action-adventure game. Let's see. Alright, and the last three out of the box are Game Informer with Infamous, Game Informer with Fantastic Four, why? And GamePro with Resistance 2. Does anyone remember how it was like Resistance Fall of Man versus Gears of War, even though they're completely not comparable, but that was like the fanboy argument of the day. So alright, so that's one more box out of the way. I got 2, 4, 6, 8 more to go. Alright, next box. Remember how before they knew what the Xbox 360's name was going to be, it was called the Next Box? Alright, so Expert Gamer, Silent Hill, dude with the chain. Do you get a chainsaw in Silent Hill? Here's one of the freebie. This one is Next Generation. The one from Walden Books. But again, Next Generation, you're so boring. Like, your format was just boring, and then everyone had to copy it and just be just as boring as you. At least this one has some color. This one's Next Gen as well. And then, I think in one of these they have an interview with John Carmack. And then they're talking about Rockstar Games coming up. Yeah, Rockstar Games. Before they were like the big thing. AGM, GameCube, Expert Gamer. I wonder which game they're covering mostly in this issue. Which one's the big strategy guide of the issue? I can't figure it out. PC Accelerator. Again, I wasn't much of a PC gamer because I couldn't afford to be. And PSM. Resident Evil 3. Again, amazing artwork on these covers. Alright. Let's see this. Oh, yeah. That's right, this one doesn't even have a full thing of magazines. I think this is PC Accelerator again. Whatever. That's right. In one of these boxes was my boxes for what few box games I actually do have. Double Dragon 3, G.I. Joe, Quake 2 N64. So this is my Super NES, N64, and NES boxes for what few box games I have. Final Fantasy. I don't know if I have the artwork with me, but the maps that came with, the armor guide, Illusion of Gaia, love that game, 07, Gauntlet Legends, Donkey Kong Country 64, the game I bought so I could have the expansion pack in a so-so collectible. I'll tell you why I'm not a big fan of it. You just have to collect 500,000 little icons around your house and then pay for it, and then, you know, I'll let you know my opinion on that game. WrestleMania 2000, Jet Force Gemini, Super Mario All-Stars. See, I gave All-Stars to a friend's little brother because I have Super Mario World / Super Mario All-Stars. So I gave a friend's little brother Super Mario All-Stars. Well, they had a moving company move them once. And when that company moved them, surprisingly, his Super Nintendo and his Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario All-Stars, and a few other games just randomly disappeared off of the moving truck. Just why I don't trust anybody. Like Stone Cold says. Warcraft 2's manual. Star Wars, Super Star Wars, Perfect Dark, Mario Kart, WCW NWO Revenge, WWF No Mercy, Episode 1 Racer, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Turok 2. Alright. Now there's still a few magazines underneath here. I don't know why I just went, oh, there we go. This one is a bit different. Not the PlayStation magazine, that's Final Fantasy VII, but my grandmother used to be a 65-year-old Hulkamaniac, brother. Oh, let me tell you something. And I have the special edition of WWF magazine after Andre the Giant died. It's been opened, like, read, and open, but it's still in its plastic. But Remembering Andre, special collector's edition. My grandmother had it, and then when she died, me and my brother took it, and then, oh look, WWF Monday Night Raw. Heck yeah. And All-American Wrestling. Anyway, it just goes through Andre, but it's a good read. I don't know if there's a lot of those floating around anymore. So maybe this one wasn't the issue. They had the Medal of Honor. Like, it would make sense if that one did have that demo disc in there, but someone said it was the Bounty Hunter one, but then again, I think it's the Medal of Honor one. Makes more sense. GamePro Cold Vault. And what do we got? A lot of... here we go. Let's see. Next Generation Soul Calibur 2. Again, decent magazine, but I still hate your format. WCW Nitro, Goldberg and Hogan. I miss the old Monday Night Wars, which I didn't really get to see them because I didn't have cable as a kid, but I caught them up in hindsight. But watching old WCW wrestling videos, and they were way cool back in the day. Anyway, like everyone was talking about Hollywood Hogan and Goldberg. You know, you'd have the kids with the Austin 316 shirts on in junior high, but like this was the hottest thing. Goldberg was huge. I mean, WCW was killing the WWF at the time, and I miss those days. The 90s. Max Payne 2, GamePro, Unreal Tournament, coming out to the PS2 and Dreamcast. Let's see, Game Now, and GamePro, Dino Crisis, and PSM again. Awesome cover art. Here's the guy from Thrill Kill, and then obviously Raziel and what's her name? Darkstalkers. Alright, GamePro, Spider-Man. Right here. This is the final issue of GamePro magazine. I have in my greedy little hands. The only part that stressed me out is I think I ripped part of it when I was... But this is the last issue of GamePro magazine ever. So I have a final issue of GamePro, I have the final issue of Game Now, and coming up you'll see the final issue of Next Gen magazine. Rest in peace, GamePro. You were my favorite, I guess. Their writing was simple. It wasn't super in-depth. They kind of wrote it for like a teenage audience, and you know, they weren't super wordy or wordsmiths, but it was easy to read reviews, and I have a lot more respect for them than for outside of PSM until they changed into that crappy official PlayStation magazine. I respect GamePro probably the most. EGM I don't really like, and the rest of them are so-so depending on who the reviewer is. Official US PlayStation magazine, the $600 PS3. Are you ready? I don't think they were. I don't think gaming was. Assassin's Creed Origins. So this one's like a more recent version of GameStop magazine. I mean, Game Informer. Let me see. Let me show you how. Let's see. Game Players, Bloodbath, Eternal Champion CD, Saturn and PSX. They're out in Japan at least. All the latest news. Game Players, WWF. Why you taunt me, WWF? Enough. GamePro, Final Fantasy X2. Do people call it X2 or 10-2? That's the real question. It's GamePro. PSM, Naughty or Nice list. Again, Miss Croft. At one time it was put Laura Croft on the cover and you're good. Let me see here. Here's GamePro, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. And then one of the other ones I got from... I only own 2 issues of Game Fan magazine, and this is one of them. Game Fan was pretty cool. They were big enthusiasts. Let's see. They gave one of these, I don't know. They're big enthusiasts and very, like, anime-cultured, niche game-cultured type magazine. Back when everyone was just putting Lara Croft and whatever else on their cover, these guys would cover, obviously, well, the Graveyard. They were doing retro things. They'd cover Japanese games. Super Robot Wars F. Interesting magazine. Definitely kind of like the unwashed coat, geeky gamer type stereotype along with this magazine, but there's Game Fan. What else do I got? Here. PSM. Final Fantasy VIII. Again, awesome cover art for PSM. Blah, blah. Oh no. Alright, that'll do it for that box. Alright, so I'm going to try and go a bit faster here. And a lot of these are probably repeats. So GamePro, Shinobi. GamePro, Vice City, Splinter Cell, and Metroid Prime. Turok 2. And this one was the December issue. No, this was November. It was close enough to December. GamePro, Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, overlaying Deus Ex Invisible War. And, of course, StarCraft Ghost. EGM, Revenge of the PS3. Yeah. You know, I don't know if the PS3 was really a big flop at the beginning, or if it's just... A lot of the coverage of it was very, very negative from what I remember, but... Oh well. See, the battery's about to run out on this thing, so I might have to continue this in the next video. But so far, this is where I'm at. And I still got 6 or so boxes to go. So I'll end this video right here, and move on to the next one.